Welcome into Celtics post-game live presented by your New England Ford dealers. Chris Forsberg, Amina Smith here with you. And the Celtics win big 120-107 against the Memphis Grizzlies. An exciting matchup, a hard-fought matchup all the way through. But Forsberg, your biggest takeaway after the Celtics, they beat the number 3 team in the NBA.
I know everyone's going to want me to wait till Sunday and that big Nets game, but I'm ready to declare it. I think if there was any questions in anyone's mind, the Celtics are a legitimate contender. When they go to another level, the way they play defense, the way they move the ball offensively, it is clear they can hang with anybody, and they have proven it over the last 6-8 weeks with their play on the court. Now, I don't know how this whole Eastern Conference jumbled mess is going to unfold. I don't know what's going to happen Sunday, but it's clear as long as they get some semblance of health, the Boston Celtics are in the mix, and it's okay. After these 2 games where they just went up against 2 top 5 offenses and more than held their own defensively, for long stretches were elite against those groups, it is fair to call them a legitimate contender. We can just kind of buy into what this team is now.
A quality win against a quality team for the Boston Celtics. All right, let's send it out to Abby Chin, who's with Al Horford right now.
Al, as a man who appreciates great defense, how would you describe what you guys were able to do here tonight?
Played really well, really stuck to the game plan, making sure they got everything through us. They're a tough team. Kept getting second chance points, hit some tough shots, but I liked our fight from the beginning, and we were able to pull there in the second half a little bit.
For you, you had 18 points, pulled down 15 boards. You told us yesterday this is the time in the season when things start to get fun. What was your mentality? How much fun did you have out there tonight?
Well, it's fun. You know, obviously Jalen's down, then Aaron is out, and we all need to find ways to step up and help our group. But this is just a great challenge, playing against really good teams like this. We get to test ourselves, and it was a good win for us.
Jayson stepped up in the fourth quarter, 21 points. What is it like being on the floor with him when he's going off like that?
No, it's great. You know, he was just letting the game kind of dictate what he needed to do. At times he would pass it, at times he was attacking. He was really poised, really solid. He was really tired there at the end, but he pushed through it. Just very happy for him.
We've talked about how tough this week is going to be for you guys. You go 2-0. What does that tell you about this team and where you guys are at right now?
Well, I mean, it's good. Like I talked about yesterday, you know, we know who we are. At this point, we're just trying to continue to get better and just take advantage of these games, because it's teams that are in the playoff type teams, so it's going to be good challenges for our group.
Al, thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks.
21 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 assists for Al Horford out there tonight. He was all over the floor in this matchup. But Forsberg, where did he shine the brightest?
So I don't know what I like the most. He's been able to turn back the clock defensively this year and be the Al Horford that we saw in Boston for seasons before he went to Philly and Oklahoma City and all that. But offensively, he started to make strides the last couple weeks as well. I think since the middle of February, he's up over 40% shooting beyond the three-point arc. That was the one sore spot on his stat line this season, and it feels like he's really gotten better with that shot. And that's huge because there's just not enough offensive weapons, especially when Jaylen Brown isn't out there, for this team to subsist. So, I mean, like throwing the little spin move there in the post. The passing was exquisite from Al, whether it was on the break and lobbing it up to Tatum or just throwing the ball over the top to Rob. The offense is just gravy. I don't expect 21 points from Al Horford most nights, but you know, the fact that he can give you that on a night where you were desperate, especially early, to kind of find some other offensive weapons is huge. But as long as he's digging in defensively, providing that backline help, we talked so much coming into this game, you know, Ja Morant and what he would do and attacking that backline and how good Rob and Al had to be. And they were great for long stretches. But man, we were all excited about the 24-year-old, the 22-year-old. 35-year-old Al Horford just decided, I'm going to take over this game.
My favorite point had to be when we had the alley-oop to Jayson Tatum. I literally went crazy at my desk. And speaking of Jayson Tatum, 21 points in that fourth quarter from the birthday boy. What did you see out of him in this matchup?
So, you know, like, look, I said it coming in that Ja was getting a lot of hype.
Right.
That's a lot of big games. And I just feel like if I'm the birthday boy, and you're coming into my house,
Talk
and
about me.
the Celtics been playing good, I wanted to show out a little bit too. And I mean, I got to give you credit.
I told you.
You said.
Come on.
What was your
I told him I said he was going to give a 30 or 40 piece tonight, and when he dropped, 37.
37. That's
Come on.
good. I mean, you were just right there in between. You kind of called it. And he might have gone for 40 if he hadn't been so bad at the start of the game with all those turnovers. But The birthday boy went from the birthday turnover to the birthday takeover, and that fourth quarter was awesome, went punch for punch with Ja Morant. You know, the game was already kind of in hand at that point, but the way Ja was shooting the ball, you had to kind of go back at him, and he just did everything. He got any spot he wanted to against this Grizzlies defense, which, by the way, is a top 10 defense. And finishing over Steven Adams, the pull-up, the Euro steps, getting to the basket. It's been really great to see. It feels like Tatum always does this second half of the year, goes up a little bit, maybe we should just be expecting it at this point.
Yeah.
But it's still a marvel to me because the passing had gotten better in recent weeks, and then there's nights like this where he just goes up.
Yeah, Jayson Tatum turned up to a totally different level in that fourth quarter. We have to show you this dunk again because, I mean, it's Ja Morant. Look at this. We don't see this very often here in Boston. Forsberg, we got to show it over and over again.
Yeah, like, look, okay, it's only once a year that we get to see this in the Garden, so might as well enjoy it. And, look, he didn't have it going early on, struggled as much as anybody. I mean, the dude has been putting up 40-point games like crazy, 50-point games. But you could see the flashes. My favorite moment, though, beyond this one, was when he had the fast break and kicked it off his knee.
Yes.
And you could hear the audible groan inside TD guy, like, oh.
They wanted to see something exciting. That's what they wanted.
We could have a second highlight to play on a loop in that situation. But, hey, you know what? Celtics fans are probably okay with that.
I'm sure they're okay with it. Let's bring in Scal, who's live from inside of TD Garden. And Scal, a big win for this Celtics team. What did this win reveal about where the Celtics are right now?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if I made a decision one way or another. I can definitively tell you this, that Jayson Tatum, I don't need to look at stats. I don't need to see what he's done. I saw the 60-point game. I've seen it all with Jayson Tatum. Like what he's doing right now, the reads, him going downhill, he keeping guys on their heels. Like people are at his mercy, whether he's kicking it weak side to a wide open guy or going by one and challenging two at the rim. I have never seen Jayson Tatum play this well at basketball. And I have to go even maybe one step further. I'd probably go back to the year that Derrick Rose, when I was with the Chicago Bulls. I haven't seen an individual player play this well, except for that year that Derrick Rose maybe won the MVP. And I really could question the way that Tatum is playing lately. It's probably even better than D Rose played at that time. So I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough of, and like I said, I don't need stats. I don't need the turnover. I need the reads and the way that he has the defense on their heels. I never even thought that he would ever get to this point. This year, I didn't think that he would get to this point. When people ask about maturity and can he get to that, can he develop into a top 5 player? The way he's playing right now, he's a top 5 player in the NBA.
Scott, do you think is there something that just clicked? I mean, the way he's reading the game, the passes, like you said, it went up from even a couple weeks ago. Do you think it's just moments in a guy's progression where it just all comes together?
I think he's picking his spots, and I think that's what good players do. Like that's what great players do. They come out, they're reading the game, they're getting other people involved. Once in a while, they'll sprinkle in an attack. They'll think about how he was guarded, put it in his back pocket. By the way, when Tatum had the ball today, every time he went downhill in the first half, he had 3 guys on him. He had a guy on him and 2 guys waiting, right? But he didn't overreact to that. Let the game come to him, find his guys. Never got discouraged whether guys made shots or didn't make shots or turned it over. None of it bothered him. Then he got to a point where he found his rhythm. I don't know in his mind did he say, I'm going to take over now, or is it time for me to be more aggressive? Whatever clicked. Listen, I was never like that, so I couldn't do that in a pickup game, so I don't have no idea what he was doing, right? But whatever is clicking is like he is reading the game of basketball. He is embarrassing team defenses at a level that I've never seen him do before.
It's just neat to see because we kept asking for it over the summer, the playmaking to go up a little bit, and we've gotten that. But now just being able, I mean, Cal, how many times did you say the word rim reads over the past 2 years? And now it feels like as soon as he starts going towards that basket, man, he knows exactly what he wants to do out there.
Definitely knows what he wants to do. Let's take a look at where the Celtics stand in the East after tonight's win. They move up to number 5 in the standings, jumping the Cavaliers. And Forsberg, we talked about this in our pregame show, just how much it would mean for the Celtics to move up in the standings. standings now that they won this game and they move up. What does it indicate about where they could be headed?
Yeah, it's like I keep saying it. Like as soon as Jaylen Brown went down, I started looking backwards. But now you look a game away from the Bucks, 2 games back of the 2nd seed technically. So there's a chance here for the Celtics to really just continue to try to surge. I think a whole bunch of it will deal with health. You know, now if Aaron Nesmith is gone for a prolonged period, like do you get JB back this weekend? They need to sort of be able to weather this storm of injuries, but the way they're playing and the way the defense is playing is just going to give them a chance every single night. And as long as they're diligent on this trek to the finish line, they're going to have a chance to get up into that top 4. And I would never have imagined saying that back on January 7th when there were 3 games under 500. So credit to them for sort of weathering it all. And really now, like in moments of adversity, they're starting to show that they can go and find a way to get through it.
And Scal, big picture with the Celtics moving up into that number 5 spot. Just what does it mean for their trajectory as they get down the stretch?
Mina, can I just blow off the question and talk about what I want to talk about? Is that okay if I do that? I'm just trying to be polite.
You're going to do whatever you want to do anyway, so go ahead.
All right. Sunday's big because Jayson Tatum has never outplayed Kevin Durant. Like, this is huge. You know, Kevin Durant is the guy. He's the best player in the NBA. And Jayson Tatum's been all summer with him, and they were playing, you know, USA basketball, and he got a chance to see him work. This is so much bigger than the 5th place, 4th place, 3rd. It doesn't matter. What matters is, can Tatum really, at this point, I know KD's just getting back, but can Tatum really, like, stare that monster, 6'11", 7 foot, 7'4" wingspan, hardest worker in the NBA? Could he stare him in the eyes and outplay him on Sunday? That's what I care about. Now, whatever the standings are, because the reason why the standings don't matter to me at this point is because if he can get over this hump on Sunday, then I have to reevaluate the way I feel about the Celtics and their chances moving forward, because the best player in the world, more times than not, moves on. So as Tatum started now entering into top 5 conversation, that means that on Sunday, we're getting 2 top 5 players going at it. One guy that looked up to another guy. I mean, what we got right now, fine, the standings and everything, but Sunday is huge. It's huge.
Tatum did have a 50-burger against Durant last year, right? Like in the playoffs? I mean,
come on, man. Come on, Chris. Don't just do that. Don't hide behind your WebEx stats. You know the deal, man. You know the deal. You know the deal. You know that game was a gentleman's sweep. You know the deal, man. This is a big moment. It's a big moment.
It will be a big game.
You know what? Kevin Durant watches everything. He sees it all, and he's seen what Jayson Tatum's doing right now.
Yeah, definitely will be a big game on Sunday.
You better be ready. You better be ready on Sunday, Chris, because this is like 2 top 5 analysts going at it.
Wow, not calling Chris Forsberg out. Thanks so much, Scal, for that insight right there. Let's send it over to Abby Chen, who's with Ime Udoka right now.
Ime, talk to me about defensive execution. How on point were you guys tonight?
We were solid, other than the first half with the turnovers that they got on the transition. We cleaned that up in the second half. That was a big point of emphasis tonight. Only had 3 turnovers in the second half for 4 fast break points where they were really hurting us get down transition. A lot of careless ones early, but we kept our composure, guarded well in the half court, and started to make them make tough shots.
Jayson Tatum, 37 points, 21 in the 4th quarter. Can you believe he's doing all of this? He's only 19 years old.
Young man, young legs, obviously 60-plus games in. You know, with Jaylen going down, he's going to shoulder a lot of load, and really got it going, been playing unselfish. No teams are going to go after him, and he's making the right play and not trying to force it and letting it come to him naturally. But we love the package of him being a screener, him being a handler, and all the different things he's doing. And, you know, his ceiling isn't even close to being touched yet.
Wing depth, that's exciting, by the way. Took another hit tonight with Aaron Nesmith. How is he doing? How is Derek? And what is the plan there?
Well, Aaron will be evaluated just like Jaylen on a day-to-day basis. We'll find out more, but obviously landed on so much foot and was in quite a bit of pain there. So we'll see in the next few days. Derek just got a stinger, kind of got hit on the elbow and his forearm or arm went numb, but he was able to come back in. So he's fine. We'll learn more about Jaylen and Aaron later, when they get evaluated.
Ime, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Young Al, a young leg. Did you see that final score right there? 120 to 107.